All right, welcome everyone to the YarnYAY mid-month. Nope, I was right the first time. Midweek meetup at the end of the month, every month. It's good to see everybody coming on in. I apologize for having to miss last month. My youngest had an event that I needed to be at. We're completing 8th grade, so moving on to high school. So, big things you got to show up for. But so good to see. So good to see everybody coming on in.
That's funny because Roderick just graduated 8th grade and is going to go to the high school next year.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Where does time go?
I mean, this is my last hurrah, my last high schooler, my last, all of it.
He's my one and only. So.
Yeah, I mean, I have my older kids are much older. I have a 23 and a 21-year-old. And so we've been in the public school system for quite some time. So it feels like a home stretch. It's crazy. Okay, I'm slowly letting everybody in. And then we'll get started. So I want to give people a bunch I want to update folks on everything. I just got back from Chicago from a conference that is a business to business conference called H&H. It's last year was the first time it was in the States. It's there's the main show is in Germany. But this is kind of the only real business to business conference that exists right now for what they call soft crafts, which is, fabric, yarn, embroidery, floss, that kind of thing. And actually this one seems like it might be broadening now to hard crafts, which are, paper, scissors, that kind of thing. So it's always good to go to. I did not get to do as much as I wanted. Unfortunately, I actually had surgery a couple of weeks ago and went to the conference on day 6 of healing. Probably should not have done that. I got it cleared from the doctor. The doctor was like, no problem. So fine. But the only reason I'm telling you this is because things may be a little bit behind at the beginning of next month. Because when I came back, I've needed to work from bed for a couple of days. So I'm fine. I'm healthy. But apparently when you're pushing 50 and you have some organs removed, things don't go as smoothly as you don't just bounce back like you did when you were younger. So, but took control of my reproductive health. It's important that we as women, since we're all women, and Chris is used to me, talk about this. If you're in pain or things are really difficult for you and your reproductive organs have done whatever service you require from them, it is okay to let them go. So just sharing that. But anyway, so there have been some things that have kind of backed up a little bit, and I'll post about it if we get to it. It's possible that something might be a day or two later, just as I catch up. But the conference was, I was able to get a few months booked for boxes next year and this year, filling in some spots. We were able to secure what we're going to do for Advent. So that's fun. And I saw a really great trends presentation. The woman who for years ran Vogue Knitting, Trisha Malcolm's one of my dearest friends in the industry, and she's really made a name for herself as the sort of leading trends reporter, even though that's not her job. This is just like what she does. She's actually with DMC right now. And it was a really amazing presentation. She went from like socioeconomic trends all the way to craft trends. It was really great. And so will it be able to infuse some of that where it affects our craft in the coming months and next year? Just color trends and materials and sustainability, which we've known, but it's just, it continues to, like, sustainable fibers and all types of subgenres, which I love. Since not since the interwebs, but since social media, trends have really become more like a mainstream thing. But it used to be, when we were, pre-social media, something was in or it was out. It's like, orange is the new black. Realize that's not what it means, but that's what came to my mind. And now, because there's all these subgenres, because people have a place to show it, what's both a blessing and a curse is that things never go out of style, but then there's always something that's at the forefront of style. So you kind of have to do both. But there's all these subgenres. There's grand millennial, which is millennial style, but really are looking forward to be grannies. Which, I mean, we're all knitters, like we all like, and we were, I was a knitter when I'm not a millennial, but when I fall into that age range. So I get that. There's cottage core, and there's a lot of cores. There was like 17 cores. But just seeing all these different styles and how we can infuse them is really fun. It was really neat for me to see that embroidery is a big trend, embroidery on knitwear, embroidery on sort of this like transparent fabric. So and then put in hoops just so you just see the embroidery. A lot of that, I was super honored to see our booklet included in her trend report as the knit version. So that was really fun. Silver is apparently the metallic that's in next year. It's back. It took a little break for a second. Not like, again, it was never out, but it wasn't at the forefront. So that's supposed to be the big metallic. Pearls are back. Okay. And actually pearls on men which you see now you see like celebrities doing it, but sort of a trend that, those of us that were around in the 90s, like lived, and 80s, not and long, 90s choker version. And usually they were like not the snap choker, but you just stretched it and put it on. So anyways, it looks like kind of a combination of that. Disco balls, they're a big craft trend. That doesn't apply as much to knitting unless we figure it out. So it was really fun to see where we're headed. I've seen on multiple trend reports that sort of like a dark blue, like that shibori dye, indigo dye blue is going to be back in a big way as sort of like the neutral next year. This honeysuckle yellow, which is kind of, it's a yellow, but with just a little tiny, like it's deeper with a little, like a marigold almost. So anyways, I would love to be able to give you this whole presentation, but it was an actual class that I took and I couldn't, but it was really great. So we will be using whatever we can from that. Let's see what else from that. I saw Crafty Chica, my dear friend Kathy Conamario. I don't know if you're familiar with her because she's paint and paper crafts. But that's part of my whole, I worked for a long time in the craft store world. It's just I've actually been crafting way longer than I've been knitting and crocheting. So it started that way, but also, when you have yarns in the mainstream stores, like the Joann's and the Michaels and that kind of thing, you end up working with a lot of experts too, and that also have that. And I've been friends with her for 20 years and she was giving the keynote one morning. It's always so inspiring. Her whole gig is to, spread positivity, usually via glitter. And she's just wonderful. So that was really great. I had really lovely visits with Trisha, as I mentioned, Karen Scassell, who owns Scassell, Creo, who had our yarn a couple times, just a lot of great people. So that was really nice. And then I was, fortunately, because I was not feeling my best, our dear friend Kristen flew in to meet me, not because I wasn't feeling well, but just was like, oh, if you're going to be there, I'll just fly out. But it was good because I probably shouldn't have traveled again. And we had a really nice time just laying about knitting in the hotel room, watching movies. We did do an outing, which was, we just happened to be around the corner from the historic Chicago Theater, and Colin Jost, who's the head writer for SNL, was performing, and I'd missed him here. So that was fun. So it was really lovely. And what we ended up knitting, I had work knit stuff. I always have work knit stuff with me, but sometimes I just really want to not have to think about the writing the pattern, the directions, you know, working on somebody else's stuff. So I buy things. Now, do I get to them? Not usually, but we stopped at a yarn store, and I can't remember the name of it because it was not Nina Chicago, because we were not in that part of town. And we got some an issue of Pom Pom Quarterly. And so I'm making a tank. We're both making the same thing. My friend Kristen and I, we got different colors. It is called the, I don't know why I'm even showing you that. There's not much to see. What is it called? It is called the Sunwake by Wenke Peterman. It is, it's hard to tell. I'm going to show you the drawing and then we'll pull it up. It's a cropped sweater, which I like to wear layering, and plus I have no torso, so it works really well for me. But can you see the chevron lace? It's like that on both front and back. So for me, relaxing knitting is being able to knit, you know, without thinking too much, but having enough interest that I don't get bored and, you know, never want to pick it up again. And so I think this is going to kind of fit the bill. And we found this yarn that I thought about, I don't know, I think it might be good for a box. It's called Lang Yarns Aura. It's cotton, but it looks like it has mohair, but it's wool free. It's a polyamide faux mohair. So it's going to give it that kind of 1950s mohair look, which I love, but without the wool for folks that are allergic. And also it's just really nice with the cotton to have the lightness of this. So I got it in this color and she got it in a pale pink. So that is the Sunwake tank from Pom Pom Quarterly. And that is what I'm making. I could blabber on about all of the things to look forward to. I don't want to take up too much time. I do want to mention how many people here are crocheters? Okay. That's good. All right. So I'm going to say this out in Gen Pop too, but I want to start by saying we know that some of you that are only crocheters especially get frustrated that not everything is both knit and crochet. And I want you to know that I hear that and I am very conscious of that. We are working on it, but it's about a 70-30 split for what people actually purchase and make. And it takes the exact same time and amount of money and amount of effort to create both. And we just don't always have the bandwidth. And so if we end up selling, you know, 70 of the knit and 30 of the crochet, it's difficult to justify because it doesn't even out paying for everything. That said, you know, I love crochet as much as I love knitting, and we're trying to balance it out a bit. We have a crochet box. It was supposed to launch yesterday, aforementioned my health stuff. So the project is done and I love it. I had a lot of fun designing it, and I think it's going to be well received. I'd like to be able to do at least a basic e-course with it as part of the box, since it's a bigger box. So we're working on getting at least the pre-sale up for within the next couple days. Not promising you, but we're going to try, because we're excited about it. It's going to be fun, and the project and the material that we're using, the yarn that we're using, are both directly influenced by the runway. In fact, I got a text from the original H&H, which is in Germany, from somebody in Germany saying, I just saw this Prada showing this, and they're using this, and guess what? We have that fiber. And so it's simple, but it's always so exciting, because honestly, you see a lot of crochet on the runway. I just still haven't figured out on how to get it to translate to people actually purchasing. This is something that honestly, I've been in this industry almost 20 years. we've been working on for at least that long. There's just this big disconnect that I've never been able to figure out. But all that to say, I'd like to do a quick course, so maybe we can get some of the knitters involved, and also get this up. So keep your eyes open for that. And then of course, Pride Box, if you haven't gotten that already, it has crochet in it. The Advent will be both, of course. Halloween will be both. I'm working on, I think that I found our bandbox band that's completely different than the last one. So, and this time I plan on doing both knit and crochet. So we're working on it. We just have to see if we have the runway. So I appreciate your patience, and I just want you to know that we hear you, even if we can't always respond and, you know, get you what you need right away. All right. I think I'm done babbling for now. Who would like to start showing? Chris, what, first of all, I need to hear about your shirt because it is adorable.
Isn't this a fun shirt? Unfortunately, this company's gone out of business.
Oh, it's so good.
It's cool. It's called Glitch, and each shirt is unique because it is digitally printed with a virus in the thing, so that instead of it being black and white, it spills into all sorts of rainbow colors.
That's amazing.
It's so cool. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Very
Super
cool.
fun.
So what are you working on? Anything?
I am on the home stretch of finishing a summery scarf. This is recycled linen. I will post the pattern. It's like an origami thing, so there's twisted stitches. It's sort of two-sided. I have no idea if the camera's going to pick it up or not.
You mean it's reversible? Is that what you mean?
It's reversible, but the idea is that where the twisted stitches are, it actually makes the fabric fold in a very traditional origami.
Oh, on purpose. Oh,
Yeah.
that is really cool. So you're going to put that in the, did you find my sweater? I'll pick it up. I'll look.
I didn't find your sweater. I was searching like mad.
And also it's not a sweater. I'm sorry I called it that. It's on Ravelry, but it's like, I know. So I'll put it up there. That's really cool. So how do you block something that you want to remain?
The directions specifically say, do not block.
Interesting.
Bonus.
I might spray it and fold it like the origami way and just let it sit that way for a couple days.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's so cool. I love when people or when designers meld two crafts together to create something unique. Okay. I want to show you really quick. Is anything else?
No, that's enough.
No, if you've got something else, show me. No,
No,
okay.
not handy.
Okay. I found it, and so I'm going to just show everybody what was working on, because all I had was a wee nubbin. That's what I meant to show. So see, it's on the back as well. So it's a really cute layering piece. And on me, it will not be that cropped. So, and there's two different versions. There's one that has more of a cap sleeve. It will not be short like that on me. So anyways, that's what I'm making.
Yeah.
All right. Claudia, what are you working on? So, oh, Claudia, show everybody what you finished.
That's what I raised my hand about. I'm so excited. Let me turn off my background so maybe it will show. I am over the moon about this. Over the moon about this finished object. I'll quickly say I bought the pattern in 2007 in paper form because there was no PDF. I bought the yarn in 2009, and it's a very complicated shawl, and I never quite was able to get the 9 charts and all the rigmarole done to make it work. So I put it aside, and then I discovered a few years later Knit Companion software, which helps with complicated stuff and piecing charts together and everything else. So I finally finished it, and here it is.
It is just, I mean, it's glorious.
the original name of the pattern was Raven's Wing Shawl. And then the designer, Ann Hansen, changed the name of it. But I wanted it to look like
movement. If you
sort of the, the oil slick kind of black
Yeah.
that ravens are supposed to have on their wings when they really don't quite have that, but that's what I wanted. And I found the yarn at a local yarn store called Art Fibers. Anyone from the San Francisco area probably knows this store. It was legendary. They brought in all their own undyed yarns from Italy and Japan, and not many other places, and dyed them themselves. And I got a purple silk and mohair yarn and combined it with a thin strand of mohair that had like chartreuse and teal and purple space dye in it. And I don't think you can't see it. This looks black, but honestly, it looks exactly like I wanted it to. And it's so soft and so just lovely to wear that I can't be more excited that I finally finished the damn thing.
That's amazing.
It turned out so exactly what I wanted. So
And now you have something to wear to the next opera.
that's right. Wear anywhere. But I feel like it's one of those things, don't give up on these, things that you've been wanting to do for years and for whatever reason didn't get it done. It's so worth it in the end. So
Love it.
can't wait I want to see all of you in person so I can show it to you and let you touch it and cuddle it. It's so soft. So anyway, that's my
So
finishing.
exciting. That's so
Claudia, remind me the name of that pattern?
It's called Irtfa, IRTAA shawl. I can find it for you if you want.
Claudia, also you mentioned it, but you kind of skated over it. I would love for you to tell people about the software that you use, because
Yeah.
I'm actually not that familiar with it myself.
So, like I said, one of the problems I had getting this project going was the fact that it had a lot of charts and it was just really hard. Okay, I'm posting the link to the
I just found it.
pattern. Okay. So I just stumbled on in 2021, I stumbled on this software program called Knit Companion. And it is amazing. I signed up for the free trial, used it for about 3 hours, and signed up for a subscription. Just like no going back. It's about, I think it's $20 a year, but you get all the updates and everything. And it allows you to import a PDF, turn it into a project, and then like if you have chart like this one, on most rows, I needed 5 different charts to make it all work together. And the Knit Companion software allows you to take each of those charts, cut it into a chart piece, and then put them together. So I ended up, let's see if I can show you no, I want my projects. Let me see if I can show you what my charts look like. So like the pattern page, is this going to show? Oh, sorry, I'm taking so long. Let me stop my video again. My pattern page would have like all these charts on there. And you'd have to do so many, repeats of each and paste them all together. So I took all of those charts, and instead of having to look at separate charts and trying to put them together in my brain. For each section, I put them together in one chart. That's one chart. So that's edging, the right side. Let's see.
Oh, I get it. Oh, that's so helpful.
Yeah, so it's the one side edging, then the one side main pattern, then the center motif main pattern, then the other side main pattern, and the other side edging, all in one row. And you can set it up like I have it set up so that you can set it up, oops, with like you'd normally put like highlighter tape or something on
Yeah.
your row to follow it. It allows you to do that. And the way I do it is I put a color, either a dark color or a neutral color on the background, and just have the row I'm knitting on with a real light color or a real bright color. So I don't even see the rest of the chart. And then when you're finished with the row, you just press the little button to make the row go forward, and or speak it. I can't do this. And then it switches to the next row and
That's really
changes
cool.
the highlight for you.
That's
So
really
it's amazing, and it counts rows. You can have 5 or 6 counters going at a time, so you can count rows, repeats, and you can say this chart is 12 rows high, and every time it goes to 12 and goes back to 1, it'll increase the repeat counter. So it's just, it does so many things so well that I cannot say enough about it or recommend it highly enough. It just was a lifesaver for me, because I love to do complicated, crazy things. And
It's
this is
really
what-
perfect. Yeah, that's really perfect for you. I wonder what happened to the other Knit Companion company. Do you remember the Knit Companion that was the tool? I still have a new one in a box somewhere. It was like this,
Oh,
and then it was a measuring tape, and then there was a little little hook that you could take out. The back came off, and like there were stitch
Ooh.
markers and the foldable scissors, and
oh,
that was
wow.
called Knit Companion.
I don't know.
But clearly they didn't get the website. So I wonder if they even exist anymore.
I don't know. This software was designed by a knitter who happens to be a software engineer. So it's really well done, but
Yeah.
it's done with what a knitter wants in mind. It's fantastic software. And I also use it for things that are like not complicated, that it's just so handy to have it on my iPad. I carry it with me whenever I go somewhere. So I have my charts or it'll do, you can set it up to work with written instructions too. It doesn't have to be charted. So it's awesome. It's really fantastic software.
So good. All right. So if anybody's interested, we put the link in the chat as well. And if folks are watching this, if you're watching the replay later, what we do is we go over to the Facebook group. So it's just facebook.com/group/YarnYAY. And I put in the comment section each of the links for everything that we're sharing right underneath the link to this video. So that's a way for you to get all of that. All right. Thank you, my love. Alyssa, how's school? How's it going?
It's a little more laid back in the summer.
Okay.
So I normally teach 2nd grade, but I'm in grad school. And
Right.
so I'm not working.
That was the school I was asking about, the grad school.
Okay. Yeah, I only have 2 classes and it's way more laid back in the summer. So it's good. So I have a ton of knitting time on my hands.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I've been finishing up a bunch of YarnYAY projects, trying to post it in the group and everything. So that's felt really good. I am currently working on.
Congratulations on your shawl, your finished shawl too.
Thanks.
It looks
That
so
felt-
good.
That felt really good to finish, like more so than other projects. That just felt like, I don't know, I felt really proud of myself. I was
You
like,
should. It was that was the first one done in that colorway for sure.
oh, really?
Yeah, I hadn't
Okay.
seen it yet in that colorway. And
Okay.
everybody's like upping upping their game on photos. It makes me so happy. So we can start sharing those like on the website.
I did like a reel too. I was like, oh, I can do reels.
I know, that makes me so happy. Yeah, I'll always share those if your account's not private, and I don't think yours is. So yeah,
I'll share those.
whenever you guys do that. Okay, so knitting time. Let's get to the
And
good.
then I am currently working on, it was a gift from, but it's YarnYAY, the Sunset Boulevard, I think,
Uh-huh.
from a few Christmases ago. So I'm really digging into the stash, and
Yeah, good for you.
yeah, I love that blue color that comes up eventually.
Yeah, we
So-
actually we created that colorway. We should get that again.
Oh,
That was
I
the
love
first
it.
time we worked with Earth before. Now they produce our yarns, but coming up with 12 colors that work together in a row is not, or is it 20? It's a lot. I don't know. It's a lot. No, I think it's 12. So yeah,
really cool.
that's yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah. So
Okay, yeah, Chris just put the pattern up for that. Perfect.
oh, yeah.
Okay, so you're going through all of the stash. Does anybody here have any requests for what you'd like to see, knowing the constraints of the monthly boxes, or not being into that and wanting something for the bigger boxes, the quarterly? Is there anything that you would like to see that maybe you haven't seen enough of, or that you saw but want more of? It could be projects, it could be types of yarn, it could be weights of yarn, it could be colors. If there's anything, and I know I'm putting you on the spot, so you don't feel like you have to give me an answer now, but if you think of stuff while we're chatting, put it in the comment section. But if not, you can always just message us, just email them to us, because we definitely, especially y'all that show up here in person all the time, you know, you're always here, and I just value your input so much. If you think of anything, please do not be afraid to let me know. And then also, because I see a few of you on here, I also wanted to mention, for those of you that are monthly subscribers but are not YarnYAY insiders, if you're interested, this is the time of the month to do it. Although with the holiday, honestly, with the holiday weekend, it probably doesn't matter this month, but the insiders get their boxes up to a week earlier than everybody. We don't guarantee it because it depends on what day the weekend falls on or whatever. The only difference is that your card is charged on the 1st instead of the 6th. So that means that you miss the unboxing, so you can't pause after that. So that's the one caveat. But we also give you, so I do a coffee talk where I do a early unboxing for just the small group over Zoom, and I try to tell more of the backstory about things and sort of the like real talk about running a business and about how we choose all of this stuff, as well as that. And then they get early access to any add-on yarn that we have. Sometimes it's just 24 hours, sometimes it's a full week. It just depends on what the month is. They get their rewards a little bit earlier. So just that kind of thing. And so if you want to do that, all you need to do is email support@yarnyay.com and tell Karen you'd like to be a YarnYAY insider. Right, Chris? You can't just, you because we need to know, right? Or can they just go in and log in and change their account?
No, because we do all that stuff that gives them access to that coffee talk that you do.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So all you have to do is email Karen, and she will just update your account. I feel like there's something else you get to, but anyways, if you're interested, I keep forgetting, and I need to, what we'll probably start doing is put reminders for this type of thing in emails. But that's the other thing, we lost our email flow person about 2 or 3 months ago. She made a career change, great fit. We're so proud of her. But that means that Becky's doing all of the layout, and I'm doing all of the sending and like creating of lists. And so y'all know that some of you have not gotten some stuff. That's on me. It's because you would think that that you could, like, if you sign up for something, then you go into a list. There are like 7 reports sometimes, like the amount of reports that you have to run to get a thing for a thing for a thing. So I appreciate your patience. And sometimes the reports just don't work, even when we've done everything right. So yes, Monique, support@yarnyay.com. So all that to, I don't know where I was going. Oh, so that's why we haven't been talking as much about the insiders thing, but we're doing all of the stuff behind the scenes. And if you'd like it, if you end up not pausing anyway, because you're like, it's not my thing, or I don't like the color, I give it as a gift, or I donate it or whatever, then it's a good way to do it, because you get stuff earlier. And it's always fun to get the inside scoop on things, at least I think. I think that it is. Michelle, what are you working on?
So I am doing the knit collage make along, and I am so excited about the colors of this project. So you can't find the pattern yet because it's part of the make along. It's called a Faye fringe bag. So
Oh, so fun.
I know. And the colors, of course, they never come across the computer. Like,
I mean, they're coming
like they
across
do.
pretty well. That's
Yeah, okay.
beautiful. That's beautiful.
So what's so fun about this is I made it smaller. It's a bag. It's supposed to be, I think, more like a project bag, but I wanted something smaller, like take the theater and things like that. But what's so fun is all these ends become fringe. So this is just one panel, and then the back panel will have fringe then on the other side. And honestly, when I opened up the box, this yarn, my mouth started watering. I mean, the colors are so gorgeous. And that like honeysuckle yellow you were talking about, like that's one of the colors. I don't know.
Yeah. That's one of my favorites. That's one of her staples. It's with the daisies.
With the daisies.
I designed a granny square, super chunky granny square scarf for her out of that color and then a white together. That was like the centers of them. You can find it on her website, and it's just, I just love it. I love those yarns. I have we use it to wrap, like I have it like this blue situation.
Yeah.
I've had it for years, and I use it just to add like little like bits of special on things. You know?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. And those cute little daisies, they come popping out like just in random places.
And those are hand tied on.
Yes.
Like women are hand tying those on. It's just amazing. So I love it. I love it. Did you get a kicky new haircut?
Well, it's actually, I'm letting it grow in. I did get a haircut, but I'm letting it grow in a little bit. And it's so humid here.
Yeah.
Where are you? Just naturally curly.
It looks really cute. Okay. How's the air quality there?
Oh,
Day.
I stayed in all day. It was, I think like the index was 189 or something.
Yeah.
It was considered very unhealthy. So
yeah, and
touching the sun too, it's very hazy. So.
Before I forget, are you going to do, and this goes out to all of you. Well, first of all, I just saw that Amy sent another email, and it looks like they opened the make along again. So maybe they have some more. So if anybody is interested, they should go over. Second of all, did you bite the bullet and do the advent with Amy?
I did not.
I had my finger on it, and I was like, I think maybe not. It was a little pricier than I could do this time. Totally, yeah, I mean, but I just was like, I just can't do 250 right now. But
and that is it. Like, I know yours is coming and it will be less, and it's always cool.
It will definitely be less. It'll probably be like $100 less. But the way what she put together, the colors this year, if you all haven't seen, they probably are sold out at this point. They're so pretty. She just has a way. It's beautiful. All right. Is there anything else you wanted to share?
Nope, that's it.
Well, since we were talking about awful air quality, I was going to move over to Jen because Kristen, my friend who I was just in Chicago with, was like, so her flight had gotten, both of our flights were delayed and hers got canceled. So she had to stay a whole other night, but got home. And I told her, I said, well, we're lucky that we got home at all, because now some people are being delayed, like rebooked 6 days later. And then she texted back, well, also, apparently the air quality is the worst in the world.
In the world.
And we were like, it was, I mean, it was hot when we were there, but it was like the air was totally fine just a couple days ago. So have you just been inside all day?
Well, so here's the thing. I was in Alaska for 2 weeks. The most pristine air and water in the world, right?
Yeah.
And I come home to this. And luckily we got in Monday night. So our flight did get in. We were just a little bit delayed. And it was then Tuesday morning that it went up to 210, 230 AQI. It wasn't as bad as that New York day that they had it almost up to
Yeah.
400. But it's been steady and you can hear my voice. It's been steady in the 190s to 200s for the last couple of days. We
It's
haven't seen the
crazy how
sky.
that can just like happen in a course of
Terrible.
a matter of, I mean, I was just there. I got home like at 1 a.m. on Monday. So
Terrible, terrible.
oh my
But
God.
hopefully we crossed our fingers for some rain. We're in a drought on top of it. So we're just crossing our fingers that something's going to come through and wipe this out. We shall see. But if you want good air quality, go to Alaska. Recommend it for everybody. It was amazing, absolutely amazing.
What did you do there? Did you go on a cruise or did you?
Yeah, we did a land first and then went on the cruise as the second leg of it. So it was incredible.
That's so
I can't say enough. And I did want to show. I didn't go to any yarn stores. We did go to Vancouver at the end of our trip for a couple of days. And I know I could have gone to Sweet Georgia, but they're closed on Sundays and Mondays. So I didn't get a chance to go to any of the yarn shops in Vancouver, but I did find this skein from a hand dyer
pretty.
called Fiber and Ice Alaska. The N is just an N with an apostrophe. So I had to buy it.
So
It was
pretty.
in the store. It's beautiful, just beautiful, hand dyed. So I too finished the shawl.
All right.
I got to wear it
Yay.
in Alaska, Chris.
You
It is fabulous. Oh my gosh, it's absolutely fabulous. Just gorgeous.
I know. Didn't he do such a good job?
Oh, I can't even say enough. Just gorgeous.
I
And I
love that
did
color.
finish. I had been working on that poncho and I finished. I had
yeah.
the deadline to do it by the Alaska trip, and I did it.
Check you out.
I know. I was really proud of that. And I've started my Pride box, and this is really fun. The construction is
It's
so
weird, right? I know.
unique. Oh my gosh, it's so
Thank you.
fun.
Thank
So I'm
you.
having a good time with
Yeah,
that.
writing it out, like we had to go back and forth because it's not difficult, but explaining it, which is why I ended up Julia.
Your video was good.
Yeah,
video was
Julia, our lead tech editor, and she came from Spin Right, where everything had to be like completely understandable to mainstream. And so she's like, yeah, you're gonna have to show people how to do that. Like it's not. So he was right. He was right.
I got frustrated because I did the chevrons in the plane on the way there, the couple plane rides on the way there. And then I'm like, oh. And then I couldn't get your video for a while because the internet's weird. And I'm like, what? I was getting so frustrated. So I didn't do a whole lot of knitting, which was good because that meant we had a lot of other stuff to do. But now that once I got back home or once I got to Vancouver, I watched the video and got going again.
Oh, good.
So a lot of fun. And Chris, I'm going to finish Sweater Weather. I'm stuck, so I may reach out to you.
It's also not sweater weather, so.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, but you want to be done by the time it is sweater weather.
I do
Yeah.
exactly. So I may email you. I have a couple questions.
Do it.
Yeah, and also we've been woefully neglectful about checking in with you about Ravelry stuff. So we need to touch base.
We do. I get my reminder every night and I'm like, I'll wait. Every night I have a reminder to work on it at 6 p.m. And so whenever you're ready, I'm ready.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, thank you for sharing and welcome back. Linda, what are you working on?
Well, I had posted in the chat that I'm really excited about embroidering. So I finished the knit one.
Oh,
But
good.
I love to crochet too. So I bought an extra hank so I can crochet another bag and I'll have more flowers to embroider.
Excellent, excellent. I'm thinking, so I have a pattern. I have a pattern that was just from an Ask Me Monday, and it's a really simple market bag. It's crocheted, I think. But I was thinking, because we have a lot of the yarn left, and it's such a great cotton. I love that cotton. And I was thinking it would be a really quick make out of that same yarn. And it's just, I believe it's mostly just DC. So we could also embroider on that. And it's like a bigger shopping bag. So
Okay.
that's something too. And we just put all of our red, white, and blue yarns for 20% off as of maybe now, or maybe it's going to be soon through the weekend. And that includes that yarn, since tonight we switch over to our July box already, which is crazy. So if anybody wants more of the shiny happy cotton, and we're putting up, we don't have them up yet, but we have more of the pearl cotton 5 left. So we're going to do bundles if anybody wants it, because it's actually harder to find that weight of the cotton. It's harder to find just in craft stores. So we want to make sure we get that out to you. I'm going to see if I can find that pattern, but okay. So you're working on those bags. Have you started embroidering yet?
No, I haven't yet, but I did have fun looking at material to go inside of them.
Oh, good.
This is adorable little dogs and cats.
Love it.
Oh,
Love it.
To go with that. And then I'm a water girl, so
Cute. Oh, so cute.
they'll really just kind of pop against that beautiful red and the colors that I got. So thanks. The boxes are great. I love being an insider.
Oh.
It was hard watching everybody post things and you're still waiting to get yours and you can't start. So I'm glad that you offer that.
And also, I know that you dropped off a list because we have to create a new one we shouldn't have to, but this is how
Oh,
it
okay.
works. I just want to make sure that everybody that's an insider that either is here now or is watching this later knows we always use the same Zoom link, and it's always at 10:30 on the 2nd of the month, unless of course that fell on a holiday, but mostly it doesn't. Just in case you fall off a list, like I know it's nice to have the reminders, but just so you know that. Of course we put the recording after, but if you want to be there in person, it's 10:30 Central on the 2nd of the month, and we use that same Zoom link.
Great. Thanks.
All right. Let's see. Deborah, what are you working on?
See if I can figure out unmuting. I've just been sewing in ends here. Repeat Crafter Me did a gnome blanket last year. I don't know. I can't get very far away.
Fun.
So yeah, I just finished December's, and so I've been sewing in ends, and I'm actually not totally overwhelmed about the idea of joining these all together. So, but yeah, nothing too terribly exciting.
So fun fact, I was just with Sarah from AKA Repeat Crafter Me at H&H. She was on a panel that I moderated about working with influencers. And so I just was with her a couple of days ago, and she has a new book, like a Forest Critters book out.
I pre-ordered that.
Oh, good. Oh, I'm so glad. I just posted the link just to that plain crochet market tote for anybody that's interested, that I think would work really well with the cotton, just while I remember it. Well, I love that. I'll let her know. So you'll have that done by Christmas in July, not just Christmas. You're ahead of the game.
I'm actually entering it in their county fair, so I need to finish it this week.
Oh, that's neat. I love that. Do you have anything else you want to share? Like maybe the quilt behind you? What's happening there?
Oh, quilt behind me? Here, let's look this up. This is, I don't know.
Oh,
It shows up.
Is it the wedding rings?
My grandmother and my great-grandmother in the 50s or 60s, not real sure, did the Dresden plates. And then my great-grandma died 1971-ish. I don't remember. I was little. And my grandma had all those Dresden plates. And when she went to a nursing home, my mother inherited them. And my mom ended up buying reproduction fabric. So like this is reproduction. And she made 3, 6, 9, 11 of these wall hangings. So it's so that went to all my cousins, my brothers, siblings, all that, or my dad and his siblings. And so when my mom died, I inherited the remaining like 8 Dresden plates that she didn't have anything to do with. So I'm trying to figure out if I can do something with that for my kids. But yeah, that is like my favorite wall hanging ever. So
What a lovely story and a lovely testament to your great grandmother. And oh, I love that. I mean, have you ever thought about just framing those plates like on a solid background, like in a gallery style? That could
I was actually thinking of that. I was looking for some frames with my daughter and for some others of her stuff. And yeah, I was kind of thinking along those lines with some of the frames I saw. It was like, ooh, I bet that would work. And I'm not a quilter. So the only quilt I made with my mother.
You can get some of that, the spray adhesive that quilters use, and you can put it on. It would probably look beautiful on a solid like wool felt square and then frame it, or just even on paper would be fine. And then you wouldn't need the glue probably, but I think it would be sort of like, it would be very modern looking. If you did, 2, 2, 2, 2, however you want, or you could give 2 sets of 4 or whatever. I think that would be amazing.
That sounds really cool. I like that idea. So now when I do it, I'll have to show you.
Oh, I would love that. I would love that. I have there's not a story to go to it with it, except for our kitchen floor. We had our kitchen remodeled last summer, and the floors, the tile is hexagons, and it's mostly white marbled, but then there's some black marble ones, and the black marble ones make sort of that flower that you see in the English paper piecing. And so I really want to create an English paper piecing wall piece that's a bunch of different fabrics in the like blushes and rusts and like greens and pinks and corals that are sort of in the surrounding, but just frame it, just to have it tie in to that like soft craft, hard craft thing. I haven't found the time to do that, but it's going to be the same thing where it's a frame and they'll be pieced together and maybe not even a complete shape, and then probably put on wool felt or something like that. So yeah, it'd be fun. I've never done English paper piecing. We'll see, but seems fun. All right. Thank you, ma'am. All right. Who's next? Mary, how about you?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, okay. I'm kind of between projects. I'm wanting to get started on that last box, the bigger box, the 3-month box with the shawl.
Yep.
So I'm hoping to get started on that. So maybe I'll have progress next month.
Perfect. I mean, it's not a race. Like you can do it whenever you can do it. Are you a knitter or a crocheter?
Knitter.
Knitter? Oh, you just said the shawl, so that makes sense. Excellent. All right, so you're going to start on that. And anything else you got going on?
No.
Good for you.
A lot of stuff waiting for me.
Well, good. Well, enjoy. Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Lori, what are you working on?
So I had eye surgery yesterday, so I've been trying to start something and I can't. But this is really cool. I finished it before my surgery. It's the Fading Memories Cowl by Ann Budd. She does it as a fundraiser for Alzheimer's. And she knits one in a day. It took me 6 days. And she does it on Zoom, and then like local yarn shops sponsor a piece of the Zoom. So I went through with the local yarn shop and did that, and I won a gift card. I hardly ever win stuff. So it's a really fun pattern, and it's hard to stop and put down. So I got it done pretty quick for me, but that's what I finished. And as soon as my eyes feel better, I'll start something
It's
else.
beautiful. Fading Memories is the saddest name for an Alzheimer thing ever.
Yeah.
And your eyes, are your eyes gonna be okay? Are you?
Oh yeah, it's just, it takes a while for them to readjust, and you can only do one eye at a time. So
Oh,
I
did
got the
you have LASIK or cataracts or?
I had lens replacement. Yeah,
lens
I had
replacement? Yeah,
one of those inner cataracts or something.
yeah.
And I did the lens replacement with the correction.
Oh,
So
you're,
I'm excited about that. It
Yeah.
costs a lot of money, but I'm
my
excited.
mom's vision has never been better and she's about to be 80 because she had
Yeah.
that. So yeah, well, great. Well, congratulations. Yeah, for sure. Well, congratulations. Elizabeth, you're up.
Hello. I have been working on for about a month or so now, a log cabin baby blanket.
Oh, neat.
And I used the basis of it was from the May pattern, the log cabin. So I just
I love it.
Oh, wow.
I love it.
So I just basically went with the directions for the log cabin blanket, like the middle square and then the 9 rows.
And then you
So
just
now it's just, now that I've got it to the size I want to get it to, I have to decide. I feel like I need to have an solid edge around it, one color edge all around. So it's just deciding which one of these colors would be best. Originally I bought this yarn with the idea of doing strips to make it look like the sand, the waves, the water, the rain clouds. So so it's just deciding if I want to do a white edging, then I need to make sure that there's no white on the outside edge. And
did you say it was for a baby?
It's intended to be for a baby, but it might not end up being for a baby at the rate I'm going.
The only thing to think about, and who really cares because they'll love it, is that with white, like they're going to put the edge in their in their mouth probably.
Right.
And hold
Right.
it, love on it the most at the edge, which look,
Right.
that's what blankets are for. It doesn't actually matter, but if you care about those things.
Yeah. Well, it's Barocco yarn, so they can throw it in the wash machine. They just have to air dry it.
Yeah.
So.
So maybe one of the darker colors. I mean, I'm going to think about. Well, I love it. And I love it. So you just went up needle size and yarn gauge.
I went up needle size and yarn, and I followed your pattern to a point, and then I stopped worrying about how many edges were on the side, and I just kept picking up stitches. And but yeah, I think I went up to a size. I'm working on a 9, and Barocco usually calls for a 7 or 8, but I just
is it Barocco vintage?
I think so. Let me just see if I have a probably.
Yeah. No, that's great. Are you, since school's out, what do you have going on this summer? School too, or no?
I volunteer at Boston Children's Hospital on Mondays. So I do that in the cardiac unit for the babies. And then I don't know, knit, read, no big plans to work.
Delightful.
Teaching allows for that. So if something comes up, I might my niece is has just taken over a shop, and I might help her out in her yarn shop in Boston a day or so here or there. And then
your niece didn't happen to make a big, did your niece order the Pride box?
I did. She may have. She owns Boston Fiber. It's very possible she did, because her shop is all gay friendly.
Did she order a bunch of that yarn later for the shop?
I will ask her, but a lot of her she celebrates LGBTQ in her store, so there's
like whatever
organization, so there's stickers and markers. And
well, the reason why I ask is because the company was at H&H, and I was running by, and they said that some yarn store owner had placed a big order solely based on it being in the Pride box, and they bought the Pride box, which is, those are the kind of stories that like, I'm surprised I got through it without crying.
Yeah.
And I immediately thought of your niece.
Yeah, it's possible she did. If she forgot to tell me, it's possible she forgot to tell me that she forgot to tell me. Yeah, she forgot.
Yeah, and
Um,
me, I mean,
anyway.
I don't know who else owns a store or knows somebody, but that was just such a, those are the kind of stories that make everything, all the hard things about small business worth it.
Right.
So if it was her,
I will.
tell her that made my whole day.
I will tell her.
And
I
it was
will.
a big deal, and it was a big deal for that little business too. They said it was a big deal for them, so.
Right.
Well, lovely. All right. Okay, so we're a little bit over, so I want to make sure everybody, did I get everybody? Everybody that wants to be on. Some of the people, let's see, some of you have gotten shy today.
Not me.
Oh, I haven't seen you. There you go. Hello.
Hi, how are you, Vicky?
I'm pretty good, thank you.
How's everybody? Yeah, Detroit air quality, awful.
Ugh.
Awful. It was 265 this morning. When I got up, it was like 4:17 a.m. And it is still currently in the, very highly yucky level of like 214. So yeah, I have not actually even opened a window today. Keith has let the dog out because with my asthma, can't do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's dangerous for you.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
been interesting, but I'm getting ready to spin in Tour de Fleece, which is a spinning event. I mean, it's a very loose event, if you will. A lot of people do it, where they spin on the days that the Tour de France cyclists are cycling. And then they rest on the rest days, or all those kinds of things. So from what I understand, it's a lot of fun. I've never done it before. So I'm going to give it a go this year. It starts on July 1st. So today I plied some yarn because I can't spin on just a traditional wheel anymore because of my fibromyalgia. So I have my note wind off after noon tomorrow. But this is a really, let me see if I can get the sparkle in here. Yeah, this is a really beautiful it's not working either, but
No, I
very
see it. No, you can see it. Oh, it's
Can
lovely.
you?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's a merino stellina, and it's fun. It was fun to ply. It's
Beautiful.
about say a DK.
DK.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
I can't really get it in here, maybe against my
Beautiful. No, you can see
sock
it for sure.
ruler.
Beautiful.
But yeah, and it's just really nice and kind of plump twist. So that was really fun. So I'll wind that off tomorrow, and that'll be one of my bobbins freed. So and then I've also been working on a pair of socks for a friend of mine. She's a first grade teacher, and she teaches in a very heavily Arabic district where a lot of the very Orthodox Muslims think that rainbows are evil. And so she likes to bring rainbows into everything she does. And so these are knit picks, Felici, what are this one? Psychedelic Sunset. So it's kind of a fun thing to do. And then I just finished another little log cabin bag.
Cute. I like those colors. That's nice.
Yep, I got these from my friend Lisa, who does Fiber Nymph Dye Works in Pittsburgh, and put those together and had some fun with it and kind of modified the pattern a little bit.
Very
Made it
cute.
a slightly tighter gauge.
Yeah.
Then again, I knit so loose that it doesn't matter if I went down 3 needle sizes.
Yeah.
And then she's also got a shawl coming out. So this was a test knit. And this is again, Merino Stellina Superwash. And it was, her colorway was called Dark to Denim. And she did this colorway years ago. But it's on her bedazzle base. So it's got the Stellina in it too. I'm just all about the Stellina right now.
Yeah.
And it's a way as you go. So you start with a tip.
Yeah.
And you do the increases when you get to the
When you're
middle.
halfway. Yep.
Halfway, you stop, you start doing the decreases.
Yeah, I like that type of project because then
So yeah, it was
No
quick
losing.
and easy, and took me longer to actually get around to, watching it and blocking it than it actually did to make it. So that's what I've been up to.
sounds good. Well, stay inside.
Yeah,
Take care of yourself.
definitely.
Care, what are you working on?
This was actually when I was out by you in Texas. I had stopped off at one of the stores whenever I was there for your open house. And my husband bought me the Bossa Nova. It's a shawl it's getting there. I don't know how well you can see, but I've never done anything quite this many colors before.
Yeah.
So it's been fun.
It's really cool. I like that a lot. Have you and Jen met up yet? Because you're in the Chicago area. Jen's in the Chicago area. You guys should connect. I had your card with me. We really wanted to come to the Tiki Bar, but we didn't have a car, and it wasn't close at all, like in any way, shape, or form. So we really want to, but next time when I have more than 48 hours, for sure.
Well, I sent you the message. We got a little bit busy. I have a box sitting in my kitchen that I need to take to the post office to be able to send to you. So, yeah.
Exciting.
And my dogs have decided to join.
They're always welcome. But I don't know if Jen's still on here or she tapped out, but oh no, there you are. But you two should message each other, because I don't know how close, but I know Jen's always up for meeting another knitter and hanging out. So
yeah.
And Kara owns a Tiki Bar, so I mean,
for sure.
It's
Let's
right
connect.
there. It's right there.
Yeah. I was going to say we're out by O'Hare Airport.
Okay, I'm all in wherever you are. I need knitters.
Have you ever heard of Jean and Jude's hot dogs?
Pardon me?
Jean and Jude's hot dogs. Have you ever heard of them?
Yeah.
Okay, we are literally a block away from them. We're the oldest tiki bar in the Chicago area. We're the Halakihiki.
Oh, awesome. Gonna have to check this out for sure.
Tiki Bar, knitting. I'll drive the 5 hours.
All in. Come on from Detroit. The air is better.
I didn't realize it was by O'Hare, so I had it all back.
I'll take the 2-hour plane ride.
Yeah, I know. We'll come back. We should just make a thing.
Sounds fine by me. We can set it up. That's not a problem. I got enough room in there.
That sounds so fun. Yeah, under other circumstances, when my body was up more for more of the things, we would have done it, because we love a good madcap adventure. But we ended up down. I was only by O'Hare when I was in the convention center, and then we stayed downtown by the Chicago Theater.
Okay, yeah.
Which doesn't seem like it's that far from the airport, but traffic and construction right now is so bad that it took an hour and 20 minutes in the Uber to get there. We took the back to the airport, and that was way better, but yeah, it was crazy. So yeah, but we'll be back.
My 4 dogs are not conducive to doing this.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
And now the cat has joined. Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
It's a cute little patchy guy.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, I love what you're working on. It is great. And do you have anything else you want to share?
No, I'm just actually I'm sitting here in my yarn room doing this for the first time because my son moved out and I remodeled his room and made it mine.
You didn't even let the body get cold.
He moved out, and within 2 weeks I had it repainted and done.
That's hilarious. That's really funny.
He only moved to the apartment next door, so it's not like he moved
Okay.
all that far.
That sounds good.
So,
That sounds good.
yeah,
That's
he
really
walks to he walks to the backyard every day to go and get the car, so it's not like I don't see him.
love it.
So,
I love it. And I'm just teasing you. I'm just teasing you.
yeah,
That's funny. All
yeah,
right.
it's fine.
Well, good to see you. I think
Yeah,
we
good
only
to see
have
you
one
too.
more. I think it's Monique, if you're still here. I think maybe yeah, you are here. Monique, do you want to share?
Sure. I am working on the knit collage fray fringe bag. You probably can't see it very well. But yeah, that's part of the make along. But I customized my kit because that's just, but I'm new to knitting. So I actually have to unravel this because my gauge has changed. And I swatched. I was a good girl. But yeah,
matter?
so I'm sorry?
Does it matter?
It does, because what's happened here is that I have a lovely triangle now. So as soon as I got into the wallflower, which I don't know why, but I'm so tight. I crochet tight, and I've been crocheting for a ridiculous amount of time. But I thought, well, I actually found Amy knit collage because of you. And as soon as I saw her shop, I was like, oh my gosh. And then her yarn is just, I've never seen it like in my life. So I wanted to make the bag, but it's doing this.
Are you sure you're not decreasing? Like, it's
I'm definitely not. I'm on point with stitch. So I actually have, it's 38 stitches. I have 38 stitches. But originally it was like the gauge, I went from like 10 row, or I think it was 4.5 inches was 23 rows. I'm gauging 36 now.
Are you did I hear you right to say that it was when one of the particular yarns, when you start working with
so when I went with the
might have to
wildflower,
use a bigger needle just when you knit those rows.
Really? Okay. I never thought of that. I actually suggested it, but Cheryl, one of the people there, she's like, she told me to work on the other half because the way it goes is you divide it in 2 panels and then they come together with it's a different type of, the only cast on, it's like I used a crochet hook to cast it on initially. You'll know what I'm talking about.
Provisional.
Expert.
Yeah.
Yes, I've only done a long tail and I'm like, okay, I know things. Yeah. But yeah, so I did this. And anyway, so I'm going to work on the other side, but I'm also using wooden hooks. I do suffer from a bit of arthritis. So I have the Knitter's Pride, the square ones, but they keep falling apart on me. So
are they breaking?
They're literally falling apart. I've made friends with the Gorilla Glue because, but even like the needle came apart here, but then on top of that, the cord came apart on me. And let me tell you, I have 15 crochet hooks and it didn't happen.
Reach out to them, they'll replace them.
Okay.
Because it is artisans working on these, like it's real people actually making these. So
yeah, and
you could have just gotten a bad one.
She hasn't had that problem, so
yeah, you could have just gotten a bad one, but yeah, they're good about replacing that stuff.
Also, I would say if you have tight tension, a glass of wine sometimes helps.
Actually, yeah, that helps a lot of things, especially when it's a cab for me personally. Yeah. I don't know. It's just, I started off great and then halfway through, like, I wish I could show you, but it's just bizarro, what I did. But I'm also the type of person who works on several projects. I have a lot of attention deficit. So I get bored very quickly. I try to relax and I do like mindfulness. But like I'm working on another crochet foundry project, which is this beautiful shawl, which is a crochet. It's just basically triple crochet and single crochet. And then I'm also doing a Tony Lipsay bag from her Crochet Academy.
Good. I love Tony.
Yeah. Yeah. So and I haven't gotten to, but I want to get into the embroidery from the most recent box because it's just, my grandmother did an amazing embroidery, so it's kind of reminiscent, but it's just so beautiful. And that that yarn is, I don't like red personally. My mom's a red kind of lady. I'm a pastel, but that yarn just feels so, I want to like
It's a
make
good
something.
summer red, right? I mean, it's not
It's
necessarily my
beautiful.
palette either. I mean,
No,
but I saw it and I was like, this feels summery. This feels like that red lipstick that you wear, like with the big sun hat and the big glasses, and you like call
I
it a
think
day.
it's that. I think Mac used to have a red lipstick called Candy Apple Red, or something New York, bit Candy Apple New York. Anyways, my mom used to wear Russian red, and that was the other one. Anyways, yeah, but also the embroidery just looks so beautiful against it. Like it really pops, and I wanted to try the I wanted to get some more yarn so I can do the knitting version as that as well. So
Well, like I said, right now, 20% off.
yeah, I didn't
all
get
our red,
that.
white, and blue or vaguely blue stuff.
Oh, that's right. Because well, I'm in Canada. I'm in Toronto, so
it doesn't matter. It's not about America anyway.
Oh, I know. I'm just thinking because you guys have the 4th of July, we have Canada Day, which is the 1st.
Right.
But yeah, it's been the weather has. I haven't been able to go outside today because of the fires. So and Toronto has the worst air quality in the world right now. So it's insane.
Oh, it was Chicago yesterday.
Yeah, well, I walked outside today and it was like I was in a campfire, not in.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
and I'm an asthmatic. It was insane. It's like
Our
thick,
design
you know?
managers there. We should check. I didn't even ask Julia when we had a meeting today. I wasn't thinking. Yeah. Well, everybody that is in the line of smoke, be safe, stay inside, do all the things. I think we got through everyone. I didn't forget anyone, right? If I did, please
I see
shout.
Gail has a question in the chat.
You do? Okay. Question on the quarterly box. Yes. If you subscribe to the quarterly box, it is a subscription, so you automatically will get the summer box unless you don't want it, and then you have to go in and log in. You don't have to opt in, but you can cancel anytime. You're not stuck in anything. So yeah, that's it. Yes, Monique.
I just wanted to, you mentioned about becoming an insider. Just to clarify, who do I email? You said support@yarnyay.com, and do I need to put or just say, hey, I want to become an insider, or is that how it works?
It's
Okay.
only
Just to
Karen.
clarify.
It's Karen. She answers all of the, there's no big infrastructure. It's Karen. We just have.
Okay, perfect. Well, you never know and thank you so much for the invite. I wanted to thank you.
For the what?
To inviting for this. This is fantastic.
Oh no, I'm so
thank
happy
you.
to have you guys here. This was lovely. I kept you over time, but thank you for showing up. And the last thing I wanted to ask really quickly, I'm floating around for summer. So it's so hot. It is so hot here. We had a heat index of 118 this week. It's just gross. It's gross. And so I always think about staying inside, frankly. I'm thinking about hosting one or two one day and one night, depending, virtual retreats. And I wanted to see if anybody if that was something that really interested anybody. It's not the same as, I have friends that do them, but they're in the craft world. So you can make an entire 4 different things in the matter of that time, which is not really our reality. But I was thinking if there's a technique portion, maybe we could make stitch markers, then maybe we can cast on for something else. Maybe if there's a few different components that might be fun, just a day thing. There would be a kit that you would get mailed to you. Is that something that anybody would be interested in? Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay,
There's
wonderful.
a lot of positive.
Amazing, definitely.
Okay, good. We'll start with just those short one-day ones, and then if it works out, maybe that's something that will turn into a 2 or 3 day where we have people doing classes and that. But for me, for my speed right now, it could be anything from quick gifts for the holidays to, something thematic to a new skill plus one thing, that you get to walk away with. So we'll have to we'll talk about it with the team, but that's something I'd like to do. Hopefully by the end of summer, at least get 1 or 2 of those on the books. So, okay. I really appreciate you being my little poll group. All right, everyone, have a great rest of your night. We are about to reveal the July box that's coming up. The crochet box, at least pre-sale, will be up within imminently. The summer box is now up for pre-sale. You don't have to do anything if you're already a subscriber. It's going to be, next time's project is not as technically difficult, but it's super fun. It's a summer knit. It's a by the pool summer knit. So we're excited about that. It's a non-wool project for folks that, you know, kind of need a break from wool or can't use wool. And there's some really like pretty stuff in the box. So we'll be revealing that on the 13th, but right now you can reserve them ahead of time. So that is what we have on the docket for now. All righty. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night, and I will see you on the boards. All right. Bye.
Bye, bye.
Bye.
Hey, Chris, will you stay on for a sec?
Sure.